this so I don't have to tiptoe. Let's see. The second project here is called Impose. And I'd like to acknowledge Don Sundersdahl, who's sitting here, who was project officer working on it at the time, the administrator. This call was launched in 2015, and the entire exhibition cycle was for the summer of 2015. But the planning for it began in 2013 when we put out a transitory art call for $30,000. And in this case, we were looking for interventions in the city that could be anywhere from 4 days or to a month. And there was a professor at the university. See if I got a picture of this. No. Oh, we can look at this one. Professor at the university named Jesse Sherbin, who took this call to his third-year industrial design class as an exercise, and he assigned each one of them. They sort of formed teams, and we ended up receiving about 5 of these from his class, amongst all of the other proposals that came in from the general arts community. The selection committee ended up selecting this Impose, and the artists were these people, Daniel Sonoff, Sebastian Sauvé-Hoover, and Brad Comas. They are the Threshold Collective. So what began as an academic project quickly became a fully fledged public art project, and the student designers received real-world experience in project management, price escalations, engineering, in fact, prototyping and patents on their engineering, insurances and more insurances, fabrication, maquettes, test drives, installation and collaboration, a lot of heavy equipment. What we thought would have been an easy project that they could lead on their own with very little intervention from the EAC, so essentially we thought of it as a grant process. We quickly learned that the EAC and Don were going to have to spend a bit more time hand-holding and assisting. But that's part of the mentorship program, really. We have emerging artists working on a project here that is a full-scale and serious public art project, and they needed the mentoring through that. So it was a real baptism for fire for them. Originally, the installation was to run in the summer of '24. However, the plan to place the tree houses in the old trees presented many challenges. There was more work to be done with the city arborist to assess the concerns of tree damage, insurances on the trees, and very special engineering that was required that I believe they're getting a patent, not the artists, but the engineers are getting a patent for. So they needed some fundraise as well, raising as some of their costs seemed to escalate. And they found some very creative ways to get corporate sponsorship. And they also got, what do you call that? Time. What do you call that when you give back time? You give it back. In kind. In kind, yes. The city arborists came in with their machinery for free, for example, to help them install it. So in the end, they animated the downtown square at City Hall from May until October of 2015. So these are dwellings, these are tree houses. Impose featured 3 tree houses installed in the downtown, 2 in Churchill Square and 1 right across the road next to the Winspear Center of Music. They created 3 distinct architectural styles evoking typical Edmonton housing types and also North American lifestyles. It's interesting, having just listened to Vancouver, that this theme was in the air, so to speak. The installation highlighted the nature of private suburban environments by contrasting them against the backdrop of shared public spaces. The artist's concept was to question the nature of private suburban spaces by superimposing them into the urban environment and shared public space. It also questioned perceptions of urban sprawl, low-density development, and their results. This project did not escape the online criticism. Is Zoe in the room? Zoe was a voice to talk to homelessness, inclusion, and marginalization. And other criticisms included the stated themes of shared space and urban sprawl, and there was an active online conversation. Throughout the day, the houses emitted periodic sounds of domestic life. And at night, they evoked again the idea of life and being lived in with illumination and combination of sounds. The tree tiles are not habitable. They're fairly small. I'd say they're the size of a table. You know, relatively speaking, maybe a little higher, but certainly nothing you could stand in. The houses were intentionally set at a distance from the viewer to create an impenetrable gap between the viewer and the theoretical home. We can't see who lives there, or how long they live there, or how they live there. We can only tell by the type of architecture that we see and by the sounds that emanate. So while we knew that this project was a really strong learning curve for the students, there were many times when they lost their confidence and they were pep talked back, let's say, into doing it. We knew that it was going to be worth their while. Since its debut in 2015, the artists and the project has garnered media attention and received the Edmonton Urban Design Award of Excellence in Student Projects and a gold medal at the National Urban Design Awards, again in student projects.